I'm telling you why, if you have an AI automation agency, you can't just use ChatGPT and plug it into any offer you're providing a client or a custom workflow that uses the API of OpenAI. So the concept of the videos is why you can't just use ChatGPT in most businesses, then which AI automation agency offers you can use it in and in which you can't, then why it's a big deal for those clients, and also the different kinds of clients, because different kinds of clients have different kinds of wants, and sometimes it doesn't apply to them. And for those who does apply to, we also have a solution. So the first and main reason why you can't just use it, it's privacy concerns, because data is really, really valuable to most companies. And this data also gives them an edge and provides them with things the competition doesn't have. If you imagine a business like a castle and the other people are the ones who want to invade the castle, you create a moat around your castle or a wall, and the steeper or bigger the moat is, the harder it is for the other companies to cross it and take over your market share. And data is a really, really good moat for that, because if you see an e-commerce store, you think it's the product that gives them the most advantage, but it's really not. E-commerce is all about marketing and spending as little on acquiring new customers as possible. And to do that, you need to have proprietary data about your customer and your target group, so you can niche more down on them and target them better with cheaper ads, which is the main reason why e-commerce stores collect that much data, and they wouldn't want to share that with anyone, because if someone else has that, they basically go out of business overnight. Then, which offers you can use ChatGPT and in which offers you can't. So we have to decide between outwards facing chatbots and inwards facing chatbots. An outwards facing chatbot is just a lead capture bot, customer support, or onboarding to an extent. These kind of chatbots just sit on a client side, and the only real information they have is anyways publicly known information that anyone could get anyways, so it's not that hard to lose. For example, if you make a WordPress bot that provides customer support on a site, you usually just use the website itself as a knowledge base, or you go to the customer and let them create an FAQ with relevant information and questions the customer might have or other customers had to answer the question. So this information, it's not really protectable, so companies don't care about losing that, and it doesn't really give them that big of an advantage. Even if you think about things like marketing or sales writing or creating funnels, those things are also not that protectable, since if you have enough time, you can find all that out from any company, so you can't protect against that. But the internal things are the ones where it's going at and where you want to protect your data. So staff training bots or process automation in any kind of way that needs proprietary data you don't want to share with anyone. So for example, if you work in any company and they will tell you all about, we cannot share this information, this information, this information. You can't take an USB stick in this building. You can't share that with anyone because it's irrelevant. Or it could be customer data, because you also can't share customer data. And those inwards facing chatbots are the big and juicy offers you want to sell, because they can really improve a company. Because a company really doesn't grow by 50% a year. They grow by 1% increments over time. And those are the juicy bites where you can actually implement automation. But this is also the bits where you have the problems with data privacy. And then why is this such a big deal for companies? Because data is the new gold. Data is the most important part. And if you have a model with ChatGPT and you put in, we have this process in our company, please optimize it or give me solutions about that and that and that, and you send it there, they save the data. Even though OpenAI says on their mission statement, we will not store data for more than 30 days and we will not use data to train new models. But the company is also really known for scraping any website they can find to train their models. So I would take that with a grain of salt. And also convincing a company to do that, it's going to be hard. So they're wary about it, because imagine you're the company and you have your data which gives you the edge, and then there's another company which trains an AI module, and now they can train your own business process with all your customer data, seeing what works and what doesn't work, and then they can basically clone your company 10 times faster than you do and improve in it, which basically would make you go out of business by the next year. And this is a giant concern for companies. So you see where they're coming from. Also, I know some people who work in companies And you are not even allowed to use ChatGPT during your workday. You can't just so, oh, I want to use this and this, or how can I code this part, and then plug in anything. They won't allow it. You can't use ChatGPT in most companies anyways. So then automating the whole process and having a system that constantly sends their proprietary data to ChatGPT will not work and will never fly. Then, which kind of clients you can put those offers to are also relevant, because if you have inbound or outbound client acquisition, makes of how excited those clients are about AI and how much do they know. If you just go around and cold calling small businesses and saying, oh, I have this AI thing I want to use and automate things for you, they have no idea what you're talking about. They are very concerned and they also know nothing. And if you know nothing about something, you're very fearful, because fear is just absence of knowledge. But if you have inbound people, so companies who come to you and ask you about your automation efforts and how you can implement it in their company, they are really excited about AI and they want to use it and they want to give up some data to gain the benefits of automation and speed. So you can always like weed these people out, and then you can think about that in your convincing of new clients. Then also you have two solutions basically. You can either educate clients and explain away their fears and consult them, saying which data will be sent, which data shouldn't be sent. And in the process of building a system, you can say like, we are red flagging this kind of data, this will never be sent, and this kind of data is okay to be sent. And also educating them and asking them what's okay for them, where are their fears, and really giving them information. Because if you explain away their fears, there are none anymore. The thing is, this is relatively low ticket. I mean, you still would charge a lot because it's still consulting by the hour, but you can't really scale it that much. And once you've done it, you can't really consult them anymore on it. But it's relatively easy because you don't need to know that much about the specific things, only about how data is going to be used. And then the other thing is, which is a really high ticket thing and only works for big companies who have the budget to do it, is to create your own open source custom LLMs. Things like I can't just build like my own ChatGPT. You actually can, because there are custom models like LLama or Falcon or even private GPT, which work really good, but you would have to set it up for each single client on their own server. So they need an own server, they need quite a lot of storage, and the whole system needs to be integrated in their environment. So it would be very high ticket, so expensive and also profitable for you, but you would need to have a full assessment about the company, seeing how much data they even send, so you can like calculate the server storage and the usage. And also you have to have a high technical knowledge to even set this up. And this would only work on enterprise level companies, so it would also take months to acquire a client. But if you have the knowledge, I would concern myself looking into that, because big companies want those kind of in-house LLM systems, because they just have all the benefits of large language models without any downsides of losing private data. I hope you found this interesting and got an insight why most companies or clients you're talking to might be worried about using those new kind of technologies, and now you have like some ways to re-explain their fears and convince them to work with you. I hope this helped, and see you in the next one.